Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here to cut through all the noise, the articles, the studies, and just, find the things you can actually use.
And today we are opening up a topic that is becoming pretty much impossible to ignore. It's this constant biological conversation happening inside your body that really dictates how you feel.
I think we all do this, right?
Hmm.
We think about mood or brain fog as a head problem, like something you have to just think your way out of.
Exactly. But what the science is showing is a much bigger picture. Your mental state is really a whole body creation. And a huge part of that control center isn't actually in your skull.
That classic saying, right? That gut-wrenching feeling.
It's not a metaphor. You're literally describing a real-time biological event.
And that gets us to the core of this deep dive, the gut-brain axis. It's a two-way street, a superhighway.
A superhighway is a great way to put it. And for anyone who hasn't heard this, the fact that your digestive tract is lined with over 100 million nerve cells.
Call it the second brain, which is just, it's astonishing when you first hear it.
It is, and it's in constant conversation with the brain upstairs. So our mission today is to unpack that dialogue. We're going to dive into 5 really surprising evidence-based ways this axis controls your mood.
And give you some real powerful levers you can pull to influence how you feel.
Through diet, through lifestyle, and even, and this is the wild one, through what you believe.
Okay, let's jump right in with something that I think completely changes how you look at willpower.
Yeah.
My question is, can your gut actually make you crave sugar without you even tasting it?
The evidence says yes, absolutely. And this is where the science gets so specific. You have these specialized neurons deep in the lining of your gut.
It's not on your tongue.
Not on your tongue at all. They report directly to the brain through that superhighway we mentioned, the vagus nerve.
And when those gut neurons detect sugar, even if it's hidden, what happens?
That signal zips up to the brain and triggers an immediate dopamine release.
Ah, dopamine, the reward chemical. Motivation, pleasure.
Yep.
The whole sequence is basically designed to make you crave more and eat more, completely separate from what your taste buds are telling you.
That's unsettling. But it also explains so much. It means that feeling of wanting more of something can be totally subconscious.
It is. The research is so clear on this. They've done experiments where taste was, completely taken out of the equation.
How do they even do that?
Sometimes a feeding tube or taste blockers. But even when people couldn't taste a difference, they would still consume way more of the one with hidden sugar. It's a chemical pull.
So this shifts the whole conversation from I have no willpower to I need to have more awareness.
Exactly. It's a biological urge. If you can't taste the sugar in your pasta sauce or your healthy crackers, you don't know why you have this powerful urge for another serving. It's your gut asking for that reward.
Okay, so what's the move? What do you do if the urge is hidden?
Honestly, the simplest, most effective thing is to become a dedicated label reader. Just get a little obsessed with it.
Hunt for those added sugars everywhere. Everywhere. Ketchup, salad dressings, breads, snacks, even the low-fat yogurts can be loaded. Just prioritizing whole, single-ingredient foods is your best defense.
We've all been there, standing in the aisle, reading the 5th ingredient, and there it is. High fructose corn syrup.
That awareness really is the first lever.
It is. Okay, so moving from those hidden cravings, let's talk about nutritional psychiatry. The idea that diet can be a real tool for mental health.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really compelling. The question is, can certain nutrients actually work alongside or even rival traditional treatments for things like depression?
And for some people, the data says yes. The research on one specific omega-3, EPA, that's eicosapentaenoic acid, it's incredible.
It really is. There was a major clinical study on individuals with major depression. They compared taking about 1,000 milligrams of EPA to taking 20 milligrams of fluoxetine.
Fluoxetine, that's the generic for Prozac, right?
That's the one.
Yeah.
And in that group, the EPA was found to be just as effective at reducing symptoms.
Wow. Equally effective.
But here's the kicker. When they were combined, the outcome was better than either one by itself. It just shows that diet isn't some side issue. It plays a direct mechanistic role.
Okay, but we have to know the why. Why would a component of fish oil have an effect like a pharmaceutical?
It all comes back to inflammation. We know that chronic, low-grade inflammation is a huge factor in a lot of mood disorders.
And omega-3s fight inflammation.
Exactly. EPA specifically is highly anti-inflammatory. It helps your brain cell membranes stay fluid and function properly, and it turns down those inflammatory signals that can mess with neurotransmitters.
So if your brain is constantly putting out these little fires of inflammation, it just can't regulate your mood properly.
You got it. Now, of course, a big caveat here. This isn't medical advice. Don't go changing your regimen. You should only ever combine things like this under a doctor's care.
Absolutely. So practically, how do we get more EPA?
Best food source is fatty fish. Wild salmon, mackerel, herring. If you can aim for 2 or 3 servings a week, that's great. For those higher therapeutic doses in the studies, you often need a good supplement.
A really important lever to pull, which leads to another fascinating idea. We think we eat for energy or to feel full, but you're saying the brain is actually on a mission for something much more specific.
That's right. Your brain is running this constant subconscious inventory for a few very specific amino acids. It's working off a biological grocery list.
Let's get into that list. We're talking about 2 big ones, tyrosine and tryptophan.
Exactly. Tyrosine is what you need to make dopamine. That's your motivation, your focus, your get-up-and-go chemical.
And tryptophan is for serotonin. The calm, the well-being, the stability.
Correct. And this is where the gut just comes roaring back into the picture because most of your body's serotonin, it isn't even in your brain.
Right. I remember reading this. It's something like 95%, right? It's produced in the gut. You're spot on, up to 95%. Now, the little bit for your mood has to be made in the brain, but that huge reservoir in the gut is critical for digestion and signaling that you're full.
Wow. So our brain is driving us to eat to get the raw materials for our go chemical and our chill out chemical.
Which means we can actually eat strategically. We can align our meals with what we want to do.
How does that work?
Well, if you need focus and energy for the day, you'd lean into tyrosine-rich foods, chicken, eggs, almonds, and you pair them with complex carbs to help get the amino acids into the brain.
So, like eggs on whole grain toast for breakfast. Makes
Yeah.
sense. And for winding down.
You shift to tryptophan. Foods like turkey, oats, bananas. Again, pair them with carbs in the evening. That helps boost serotonin, which then helps make melatonin your sleep hormone.
So you're eating for motivation in the morning and calm in the evening. I love that.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, so we've got cravings, we've got fuel. Let's talk about the factory itself. The trillions of little guys in our gut, the microbiome.
Right, let's tackle the big buzzword, the microbiome. There's this myth of good versus bad bacteria, like it's a war in there. But the sources say it's more like a neutral ecosystem. They're all just trying to survive.
That is the critical distinction. It's not about one species being good or bad. It's about the balance, the composition of the whole ecosystem. And that composition is almost entirely decided by what you feed it.
And a healthy, diverse ecosystem means less inflammation and better neurotransmitter signaling.
And we know there's a causal link here, not just a correlation. I mean, the studies where they transplant gut bacteria from depressed humans into rodents.
And the rodents start showing depression-like behaviors. That's powerful stuff. It proves the gut flora is an active player.
A very active player. And they're communicating all the time through the immune system, the vagus nerve, and by producing their own chemicals, their own metabolites.
So if the health of this whole ecosystem is that important, what's the best way to feed it for mental health?
The sources are really clear on the number one first step, prebiotic fiber.
Okay, so not probiotics, but prebiotics. The food for the bacteria.
Exactly. It's the fuel for the beneficial bacteria you already have. Think asparagus, onions, garlic, bananas, oats. You have to feed your good guys so they can thrive. Then you can add in probiotic foods, yogurt, kefir, kimchi, real sauerkraut.
And there's a really important warning here, right? For people who think more is better.
Yes. The research cautions against just megadosing probiotics, thinking it's a quick fix. Very high doses can sometimes cause brain fog, of all things.
So it's not about flooding the system.
No, it's about slow, steady consistency. That daily prebiotic fiber is way more important than any single probiotic pill.
Right. And I know it can feel like a lot to keep track of, standing in the grocery store trying to remember all this.
Totally. It's not about being perfect overnight.
Right. And actually, if you just want a simple breakdown later, beefit.ai has some great free articles on this. They really make it feel clear and doable.
So it's a perfect transition actually into our final segment, the top-down effect. We've talked about the gut talking up to the brain. What about the brain talking down?
This one, to me, is maybe the most mind-bending piece of the whole puzzle. Can what you believe about a food physically change how your body processes it?
The Stanford milkshake study is the proof. It's definitive.
Tell everyone about that.
So in this study, everyone drank the exact same 380-calorie milkshake. But the researchers told them two different stories.
Okay.
Half were told it was this high-calorie, indulgent, decadent shake. The other half were told it was a low-calorie, sensible, guilt-free drink.
So the only thing that changed was the perception, the story, what happened in their bodies.
The results were undeniable. The group that believed they drank the indulgent shake had a much, much steeper drop in ghrelin,
Ghrelin, that's the hunger hormone.
the hunger hormone. Their expectation physically changed their metabolic response. They felt fuller, faster on a biological level just because of what they believed.
That is just, it's almost hard to believe that the story I tell myself about my food is more powerful than the actual calories I'm eating.
It's a huge message. It means stress, guilt, labeling foods as bad or sinful, that negativity is sending real biological signals that interfere with digestion and satiety.
So mindful eating isn't just about chewing slowly, it's about your mindset. Your body is listening to the story your brain is telling it.
Exactly. And a question we get a lot is, okay, how quickly can this stuff work? The microbiome can start to shift within 24 hours of a big diet change. But for stable, noticeable mood changes, you need to give it several weeks, even months of consistency.
It's a journey, not a sprint. That's such a good reminder. Okay, let's do a quick recap of the big takeaways.
Let's do it. First, your gut can secretly drive cravings for sugar using dopamine and the vagus nerve completely behind your back.
Second, the omega-3 fat EPA is a powerful mental health tool because it reduces inflammation in the brain.
Third, you're not just eating for calories, you're eating for specific amino acids. Tyrosine for motivation, tryptophan for calm.
Fourth, your microbiome is an active partner, and prebiotic fiber is the best thing you can feed it.
And finally, your belief about a food can physically change how your body digests it and responds to it. Mindset is an ingredient.
So the big message here is to stop seeing your mood as a mystery. It's a physical conversation.
Yeah.
And you can start influencing that conversation today.
And we want to leave you with one final provocative thought to tie this all together. We mentioned that 95% of your body's serotonin is in the gut. But think about what happens when people start taking common mental health medications, SSRIs. What's the most common side effect?
Nausea, digestive issues.
Exactly. That immediate nausea is the medication hitting that massive sensitive serotonin system in your gut, even though the target is your brain.
Wow, that's the proof right there. The systems are not separate. The conversation is constant and intimate.
It's totally systemic. So at your next meal, instead of just thinking about calories, maybe ask yourself, what message am I sending my gut-brain axis right now?
That is a powerful question to sit with. Thank you for diving deep with us today into this incredible connection.
We'll see you next time.